But first, let's get to our strategy session. Joining us now, the Democratic strategist and CNN political contributor Maria Cardona, and the Republican strategist and CNN contributor Alex Castellanos. Guys, thanks very much for coming in. Maria, let me start with you. All of a sudden, Mitt Romney and his campaign, they're beginning a little bit to get tough with Newt Gingrich. His poll numbers are skyrocketing right now. Is it about time? Too early? Too late? What do you think?
It might be a little bit too late, Wolf, but as we know, in politics, a day is a lifetime, so anything can happen. But I have to tell you, the Romney campaign reminds me of those mirrors that you have on the side of your car that say, objects appear closer than they are. I feel like Romney's campaign should have a mirror that said, candidates that you thought were behind you are really way ahead of you. So he was clearly caught flat-footed. His whole campaign was. This was not something that they had built into their strategy, and they need to do something about it, and they need to do it now. And the problem is, they are going to have to go negative, and they're going to have to go negative hard. And guess what? It's the holidays. People don't like that kind of sentiment around the holidays. They want to feel warm and fuzzy. But Romney wants to win. I don't think he can go warm and fuzzy on Newt Gingrich.
It's as if, Alex, that they weren't even paying attention to Newt Gingrich, and all of a sudden, look at how great he's doing.
Well, I don't think a lot of Republicans thought that you know, the Newt Gingrich resurrection was something that was in the future, but he's back, and he's back with a vengeance. He's got a, you know, surveys say he's got a 70% favorable rating in Iowa, and Maria's right, the clock's ticking. If Newt Gingrich can get through the next couple of weeks in Iowa, then Christmas kind of freezes the race. Newt can win Iowa, roll into New Hampshire with a lot of momentum, and if he comes close to Mitt Romney in New Hampshire, then boom, he springboards into South Carolina where he's very strong. He's ahead in Florida now. Romney was always counting on a long race. Mitt Romney's team was never counting on a quick knockout, but they may not even get a long race if Gingrich doesn't really blow himself up or if these negatives don't work against him.
Maria, the President of the United States was in the briefing room today. He didn't just make a statement. He also took some questions from reporters, and including some political questions. Listen to this exchange.
Republican candidates have taken aim at your approach to foreign policy, particularly the Middle East and Israel, and accused you of appeasement. I wanted to get your reaction to that.
Ask Osama bin Laden and the 22 out of 30 top al-Qaeda leaders who've been taken off the field whether I engage in appeasement. Or whoever's left out there. Ask them about that.
He's been reluctant to really engage the Republican criticism from the Republican presidential candidates. Finally, he's beginning to do so. Is it, on this particular front, Maria, about time?
I think so, Wolf, and I think a lot of his supporters think that it's about time. So good for him for doing that, because one thing that you got to say about these presidential candidates, they have absolutely nothing to say that can come close to what this president has accomplished on foreign policy, especially in the areas of terrorism. And I think every single American will agree with that. So good for him for doing that. I don't think there's anywhere that the Republicans can go on this issue with terrorism. They have zero, not a Wolf. And I think it's time for this president to put that on the table.
You might be surprised. Not every single American applauds all that he's done in fighting terrorism. The next hour, you'll hear my interview with Donald Trump on this specific issue. I want you to stand by and listen to that. But what do you think, Alex? Is it about time that the president starts responding to his Republican challengers?
Well, you know, I think he's been campaigning, you know, nonstop now for the past 6 months. But, you know, the problem here, Wolf, is that Israel is near the precipice and more danger than ever. Pakistan's bristling with nuclear weapons, and we're losing our influence. Iran is developing the bomb, and the president's answer is to hitch up his pants, spit in the spittoon, and saying, I'm a tough guy. I took out Osama bin Laden. It's not a very serious way to deal with foreign policy.
When it comes to terrorism, it's what he's done, and that's a track record.
Yeah, but that's it. Foreign policy, it happens to be about more than terrorism. It's about not losing Israel as our only democracy in that part of the world. It's about not losing our influence in Pakistan. It's about not letting Iran, a madman in Iran, get a nuclear weapon. And the president on all three of those has done a